up? What is up? What is up? Wait for. I was just about to type that. I was already typing that. I know, that's so sad. You were second behind Adrian. I think. I know. It's sad. I mean, apparently his apparently it was his daughter was on the plane too, which is really sad. Yeah. Apparently his daughter was on his 13-year-old daughter. I think that's what Adrian said. Oh yeah. I know, huh? And you can. What's sad is the last thing that he said was yesterday or something. He put a post basically giving props to LeBron James. It was a very tasteful post, and then this happened. So it's super sad. I mean, in the sports world, this is probably definitely as big as like Michael Jackson dying in the music world. Now I know I was thinking about that earlier, and I know some people will take that wrong because Michael Jackson had a lot of controversy. But besides the controversy, his impact when he died was huge. And in sports, this is the same thing. I mean, anyone who watches any of the big sports, I mean, he was only 41. I forgot that. For some reason, I thought he was older. That's like right around the corner for me and you. What do you mean? He probably is gonna cry. Just maybe not on the phone to you. He's probably gonna cry. I mean, I cried when Mac Miller died. I can imagine. I mean, it was literally a couple months ago that like I forgot where I was at. Oh, this was yeah. Someone was shooting a paper ball into a basket, and they missed. I forgot where this was at though. I can't remember, but they missed, and I was like, please don't tell me you yelled Kobe before that. And they were like, no, and I was like, all right, good, because they missed. So I was like, it's weird how like even if you didn't play it, like watch basketball, everyone knew like who Kobe Bryant was. Yep, it's sad. It's very sad. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say. I mean, I think it's kind of like that's sad, but it's really disturbing that his daughter was on there too. I mean, what's even more disturbing, and I don't know why my mind goes to this, is like, I wonder like how they were. Like, I feel like if that were to happen to me in a plane, I'd be in such shock that there would be some thoughts in my mind that maybe I would survive. Like maybe we'll get hurt, but we won't die. But when you think about it, the odds of dying a helicopter crash are probably like in the millions. I mean you have a better chance of falling out of a plane like skydiving and surviving from that than you do actually being in a helicopter or in the plane. Really? I thought. What about Michael Jordan? Maybe, maybe only, maybe only Kobe Bryant. I don't know. Well, what sucks is I don't even think he was in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Apparently, he was supposed to be inducted this year. So, I mean, at least he'll get a posthumous induction. Because there's no way he wasn't not going to get inducted. I mean, this is not like a uh, I can't even. Don't even mention that with Phoenix. I don't even want to think about that. I don't know. I just want to picture him playing and the worst thing happening to him, getting hit by a big kid by running into him. Yeah, no. I was funny was I was watching a Call of Duty uh competitive multiplayer match, and then someone kept saying "Rip Kobe," but I didn't think it was real because in a lot of the MMA like live streams on different channels, everyone's always like "Rip Joe Rogan," "Rip Joe Rogan." That's all they say is "Rip Joe Rogan." And I remember like, what, did he die? And I looked and nothing happened, so I thought at first it was a joke. Yeah, I thought it was a joke. So then when I looked, it wasn't a joke. So yeah, it's sad. I know. I mean, that's pretty much all he could tell her. I mean, that's really all you can say is everything will be all right. I mean, at least make her think that before she died, like that. If you, I mean, think about how. I'm not saying like a death is horrible for everybody involved, but I mean, yeah. See, that's what I mean. But they're like, yeah, with the fucking hoaxes and shit. But yeah, I mean, like, think about it. Like, what was that one book I read? I forgot what it was. There was like, and I don't mean this to be rude for everyone who's watching the live stream, but I could give two fucks what you're saying. Think, but there was like, so I'm gonna use a word. So if the word bothers you, fuck you. But there was a book where there was a retarded kid. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. And then he had a dog, and and the kid ended up like killing someone by accident or something, and they ended up having to kill the kid in the book. And the guy who killed him did like the guy, I think, like the kid, and he ended up shooting the kid in the back of the head. But when he shot the kid in the back of the head, he gave the kid like happy thoughts, like made him think some happy shit, and then he shot him. So I mean, like, hopefully at least Kobe was able to tell her like, everything will be okay, just relax, and then maybe she wasn't that scared. I mean, that's the only thing you can kind of take out of this. That's not a horrible thought. Yeah, fast. I just hope it was painless. Because I mean, Kobe already probably knew. I mean, he's smart. He probably thought there's no way we're gonna live this. Maybe he had some very strong forms of denial in his head. Because I mean, death does that. I mean, it brings up strong forms of denial. Yeah, Raymond, you're right. It's so sad. You probably get strong forms of denial. So he probably got a very strong form of denial, and then just, uh, yeah. I mean, maybe he even didn't believe it out there during that parts of that. I mean, I don't know if I could believe it thinking you're about to die, but I mean, he probably just. I mean, I hope it was just. I hope there was no. You know. Yeah, that's so sad. I can't even. I can't even think about like. I don't even like thinking about that with Phoenix. I don't know why my mind keeps drifting to that. I don't even like thinking about that. Yeah, but it's sad. I mean, this is probably the biggest death in a while. I mean, for obviously for me it was Mac Miller, but I mean like for global and sports, I mean I can't remember the last person to pass away that was this big. Again, last person I can think of was this big. I mean Michael Jackson. They had a Nipsey, but Nipsey was huge in hip hop, but he wasn't as big, not nearly as big as Kobe. Kobe was. Yeah, well, I'm just glad he's in the room sleeping. He's happy. He's probably gonna poop himself at some point today, and we're back in reality. He'll probably cry because he stubbed his toe. There you go, back in reality. Don't want to think about it. But yeah, it's weird how like, damn, he's so young. I just can't get over that. 41. That's barely That's so small, and the grand scheme of things. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a while before this even. Well, Raymond, they were saying that he was supposed to be inducted this year. That's what some people. That's what some outlets are saying, I guess. You know. Yeah, almost, but not quite. I mean, Michael Jordan is the goat. What's up, Gabe? Have you heard? I'm sure you've heard the news, right? Yeah, it's yeah. Damn. I wonder what happened. They said that helicopter lit on fire, but like, damn, that's why you can never really trust electronics fully. You just can't. Just can't fully trust electronics. Stuff like that happens. Yeah, that was the people by where it crashed. Yeah. Damn, I don't know how scared that would be. Like if you're just in the helicopter and it's making noises, like what the fuck do you do? Like I don't. It would be hard to just not start crying. I mean, it sounds like a total bitch thing to do, but I mean, I feel like I would just start crying. Like it would hard to like stay strong for everybody. Oh yeah, no, I'm not trying to blame anyone. I'm just saying, I'm curious as to like damn, that's like it's just a trip thinking about that. I'm just it's just a very scary scenario, and as humans, like we just want we I mean our main goal in evolution is to survive. So when you feel like your survival is being threatened, I mean you have all these hormonal rushes, and you have these things that all these hormones just flood through you. I mean, it's just yeah, it's crazy. You're all I'm just gonna brace, and hopefully my body turns to steel. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just like I do. I know. I'm just like I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Just always staying busy throughout the weekend, staying busy with training, staying busy with work, and making gains. I'm on my intensity block. I just bought a deadlift bar. So that's pretty cool. I want to kind of break that in. Um, I like I like I like using deadlift bars. The knurling on them is so rough though. I don't know. Have you used a deadlift bar before, Raymond? Not a trap bar, because when I say deadlift bar, people say a trap bar. I've never, until like a year ago, I've never heard people call it a trap bar or deadlift bar. Then apparently people call trap bars deadlift bars. I've always known of a deadlift bar as like a longer. It's like an Olympic barbell, but it's just a longer, thinner version of it. So it has a little bit of bend in it. Said some lady survived a plane crash because of her airline seat. True story. Oh damn. They should test her genetics and try to replicate those. She must have some superpowers or something. But yeah, Raymond, I'm just waiting for that. I'm waiting for a that deadlift bar to come in. Yeah, I'm pretty sore right now. My back's sore in a good way, not a bad way. There's definitely a difference. My legs are so sore from the other day. Uh, my arms are probably gonna be sore because I had a really good arm day yesterday. Not arm day. I did more than arms, but I had arms yesterday. I don't do arm days. And it was good. So just working out, lifting hard, lifting heavy. I gotta test my 1RMs in like 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. So trying to keep my food up, trying to keep my calories up, trying to keep my weight up. So the seat saved her. They made a movie about her because she crashed in the Amazon and survived 10 days alone in the Amazon. Damn, so she had to fight like tigers and shit. She's all fighting giant spiders like the size of a house, just damn. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know what I'd do if I survived a plane crash. That'd be weird too. Obviously, it's better surviving a plane crash, but I mean, you'd probably have so much PTSD. Did you, Raymond said, I almost injured my back from lifting those bars. I have to do sufficient warm up before lifting. Oh, yeah, I always do a good warm up. I've never injured my, surprisingly, I've only injured my back once, and this is the weirdest thing. It was doing a dumbbell overhead press. I wasn't going heavy, I wasn't bent over. I don't know what happened, but it was nothing bad. They did I had some tests done at the hospital. Nothing with my spine. That was fine. It must have just been like maybe um I did something not too serious, pulled a muscle or something in my low back, but that was it. Other than that, I've never had an issue with deadlifting ever. Yeah, so I always do a good warm up. I do a bunch of rehearsal sets before I get to the heavyweight. So I don't go straight to heavyweight. I do a good mobility warm up. Then I start with like 95 pounds. I go to 135. I go to 225. I go to 315, and then I start with my working sets, whatever they are, some four in the fours. The snakes and shit. Her parents raised her in the forest, so she was prepared. People call it a freak accident. Oh yeah, of course. How long did the back injury last? For me, oh, it lasted like probably about 2 weeks. That was it, but it wasn't that bad. Um, yeah, about 2 weeks. It was hard. It slowly went away, but like it was at the beginning, it felt really bad. It was hard for me to get in and out of cars. It was hard for me to sit down. But yeah, again, surprisingly, it wasn't even from deadlifting or lower body. It was from upper body. So that's the weirdest part about it. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty it went over quick. So other than that, I'm glad I haven't had any injuries. So yeah, I always warm up good. Um, but yeah, I want I want that bar to come in so I can get ready and test with it. I've injured my shoulder one time, But that was because I didn't do the warm up that good for my bench press for my upper body day. I had an upper body day and I didn't. The one time I didn't warm up, I hurt my shoulder. But other than that, besides my shoulder and besides my back, obviously I had the knee injury, but that was in the Marine Corps, so I haven't had any big upper body injuries. Nothing. No torn ligaments. Some impingement in my shoulders, a little bit here and there. A little bit of elbow issues, like tiny stuff though. Nothing big. Nothing like debilitating where I'm just like I can't do anything for upper body. So yeah. Other than that, I got legs later on. I'm doing legs 3 times a week now, so that's kind of a little bit more rough. But I wanna do good on legs, so I increase the frequency. When is uh when is Phoenix waking up, or is he already awake? You should ah he's cute. When was this? Yeah, he had so fun at that other park we went to. Oh, this morning. Yeah, I wonder if they have any good parks around here. Maybe one time you guys could come down over here and then we could go to a park around where I'm at. I know they have a couple parks. Okay, in like 45 minutes. Damn, why does it feel hot today? The temperature feels hot. 61 degrees? What? Maybe it's that candle. Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna do about all that Kobe stuff. If they're gonna do like a I'm sure they're gonna do some like ceremony or something in LA for sure. And I wonder how the family is doing right now. Or take him to the gym for a little bit just to see people lift. Yeah, well, yeah, we have to make sure we're careful about that. We don't want him to um end up hating the gym. But yeah, we could do that. So growing up, Kobe was the only GOAT. I know we didn't have cable TV in the 90s. I started watching NBA in the 2000s, but now we all know MJ is the GOAT. Oh yeah, MJ is definitely the GOAT. But Kobe had some stuff. I mean, yeah, Kobe was just really good because he was super clutch. I mean, he was good in the moments they needed him. And then he obviously has some records, definitely some records. Uh, oh, they did. That's I guess nice for him. I mean, I'm sure this is gonna go on for a while for the people remembering him, and I'm sure every basketball game in the next week is gonna have something to remember him by. Damn. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. It's still kind of surreal. It hasn't even really set in yet. All right, see ya. Yep, get me. Tell everybody. Give me the 3K subs. Give me the 30,000. So Raymond, what are you doing for your workout right now? What workout you got going on? Oh yeah, and I thought it was Fate first too. How's your weekend been, Gabe? Besides the bad news, how's it been? Okay? Good? How's school going? I know I honestly thought it was fake because again, like I said, I've seen MMA streams, like an MMA stream, a video where everyone was saying rip Joe Rogan, and uh, I looked online and he wasn't dead. He was nothing was so I was like I thought when I was watching a Call of Duty multiplayer stream and people were saying like rip Kobe Bryant, and then I looked and I was just like what the fuck, and apparently it was real. So I was like super surprising. Yeah, honestly, I mean it's still a good weekend in regards to myself, but the weekend was going great until I heard the news. So yeah, currently have been doing cardio, lifting weight, basic stuff. Diet is kind of tough to maintain. Oh, for like, what do you mean, calories or for like eating healthy? Gabe said I was at a restaurant and then the news went on the TV and everyone reacted. Damn, that's fucking sad, man. It's like weird. It's almost like when someone dies, I don't even know how to feel. It's like sometimes it's like so weird that I just don't know how to feel. Like it's like I want to kind of just be normal, but it's like and go on with my day, but I like it feels like I can't, you know? It's just funny how that goes with like a death and stuff. That I'm doing high reps right now for big, going back to moderate reps for February. That's cool. High reps are fun. I like the pump that high reps give. I definitely do. Um, that's probably the biggest pro for high reps that I think is that you get a pump, and honestly, that's like one. It's good for obviously hypertrophy, especially if you take you should be taking if you're going really high reps, you should be taking it to failure. Um, but one thing, I just think that for a mental kind of uh, I think that that's the biggest thing for high reps. The biggest pro is that when you get that pump, it's very, how do I say, it increases your adherence. I don't know about you guys, but when I do moderate reps, I do get a pump depending on the exercise and how I'm doing it. Like, for example, what did I do? Was it not yesterday, but the day before that? Yeah, the day before yesterday, I did pause squats, ass to grass pause squats. I actually can go ATG now with good form. Um, but I did ATG pause squats, not with super heavy weight, just with 205. Um, And that shit, that I got a pump with that. But usually for moderate reps, I don't get as good of a pump. When I get that pump, that crazy pump, like I did arms yesterday and I did 15 to 25 reps, my fucking arms felt like they were gonna explode and it burned so bad, but it made me feel like I was doing something more than what moderate reps do, you know. So that's what I really like about, you know, high reps. But high reps aren't practical to do forever. Raymond Moore said, I don't have time to prep my own meal, just eating outside, still try to eat healthy. I don't even meal prep. I never meal prep. I think that you don't really need, for some, meal prepping could be perfect, but you know, for some people, meal prepping could be like, how do I say, very valuable and a good tool, and it could help someone have really high success. But I don't know. For some people, it could set them up for failure because it's either all in or all out. You know, if they're either meal prepping, and if they stick to the meal prep, they're doing perfect. If they meal prep and then they don't do the meal prep, let's just say they eat out or something when they have prepped meals, they feel like they're a failure or they feel like they're failing, and that's the only like thing I don't like about meal prepping. You're either doing the meal prepping or you're not doing it. You know, and I mean, hey, if you can do a meal prepping and not look at it black and white like that, then that's perfect. But I think meal prepping can cause some people to think in a black and white way, and thinking of nutrition as black and white is not good. Like it's just not like you're like it's good to be flexible with how you eat. Gabe said, "Yeah, I like high reps because it's less intense and doesn't hurt as much to do." Oh, you mean in regards to like joints and stuff? Oh yeah, it is. It is less taxing on you. And in the sense of like joints and ligaments. Yeah, like high reps feels harder to me in an effort sense and the burn, but like I get what you mean in regards to like a heavy set, man. A heavy set like for my joints is just hard. And plus heavy sets can be kind of intimidating depending on the exercise. When I'm doing like a back squat, a heavy back squat, something about getting under that bar, like I just feel like it's yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just even if I have, I mean, I guess it's not so bad if I have with the spotter arms, the safety bars, which I should have. But I mean, even if I have those, it's still a little intimidating. I don't know. Just having a bar in your back and working with, you know, above a 90% of 1 RM is always a little scary. But same thing with bench too. Bench is the same way. Deadlift not so much. Deadlift is intimidating because if I don't get it, I'm kind of hard on myself. So it's not as intimidating in regards to safety, but deadlift is more intimidating in the sense of am I gonna be able to pick it up? You know, you kind of have to. I don't want to say eye fuck, but you kind of have to eyeball the weights before you lift them. But yeah, I like high reps. I need to I need to not you know my brain's kind of too tied to heavy weight, so I need to kind of even though the science shows a lot of good evidence for high reps, I need to start doing that more. You still haven't done a deadlift yet. I've got to try. Be careful with it though, man. Deadlifts aren't very technical, but too many people try to muscle it up during a deadlift, man. I would start super light, deadlift in front of a mirror if you can. If you can't, make sure to record yourself. Make sure you brace properly. Make sure you have a straight back. Make sure you have a tight core. Make sure you're using your legs and you're not pulling. Like when you're doing a deadlift, don't pull like like you know how you start a lawnmower and you pull like this. Don't pull with your hands like that. Don't pull with your back. The best way to think of a deadlift is to think of your back and your hands as like stabilizers and hooks. Your lower body is what's doing the pushing. So your back is just meant to contract, stay tight, and to keep your body rigid. Think of your legs. Think of it like your leg pressing the ground, the ground away from you. You said, is a sit up effective to get a six pack, or is it a waste of time? I have been doing cardio, so stomach fat is kind of gone. Okay, A sit up, depending on how you do it, can be good for your to get a six pack. Obviously, your diet has to be in check, and you have to be in a low enough percentage of body fat to see your abs. You can have very strong abs, very developed abs, but if there's too much fat on it, you're not going to see them. Now, assuming your diet's in check and you lose the body fat, you have to think why do people do a sit up? They do a sit up because they're flexing their spine. There's many components to your core. One of the main portion that people talk about when they think of your core, they think of your rectus abdominis, which is your six pack muscles. Their main function is to flex the spine. When you look at the sit up, you are flexing the spine, but what a sit up does wrong is a sit up is you're also flexing at the hip. You're using your hip flexors a lot. So instead of doing a sit up, I recommend you do a crunch. Your low back doesn't really have to come off the ground. You don't have to sit up. You just need to flex the top of your spine. So as long as you're flexing your spine and contracting your abs, and you're rolling up your spine like a towel, kind of, you should feel it. So yes, a crunch, or I don't want to say a crunch or a six pack. Flexing of your spine, which is involved in both a crunch and a sit up, is good to develop your rectus abdominis, which is your six pack. But when you're flexing your hips and you're using your hips and you're using your hip flexors, which a sit up does a lot, that's not going to do anything for your abs, and it can also cause other issues. So don't do a sit up as much. Do crunches, and there's a difference. Like um, again, a sit up is you're actually sitting up, and a crunch is you're almost only moving your upper back during a crunch. Here, let me see if I can find a good video real quick showing the difference. Let me just find this form real quick, Gabe, and then I'll answer your question. All these fucking articles are stupid. This is why people can't go online. Gabe said, "Is it better for abs to do a few weighted reps or a lot of low body weight reps?" You got to think is that this is where like hypertrophy. I did a video on this like about a couple weeks ago. You should check it out. But to sum it up, is hypertrophy isn't tied to a rep range. So um so you can see hypertrophy of a muscle group going heavier or lighter, heavier lower reps or lighter high reps. But for core and the way it's kind of built, I would definitely say don't go too low of reps. Now you can add weight, but in my opinion, if you're going below 10 reps for your core, you're probably training too heavy, in my opinion. If you cannot do 10 good reps of whatever you're trying to do, you're probably training too heavy. Now, if you're doing endless reps of easy stuff, that's also bad as well. But again, that's just my opinion. So if I had to pick, I would definitely say do I would say do low rep, do low weight. Okay, I don't even know what this guy's saying, but because I can't hear it. But this video looks like it covers it well. You don't even really have to watch it, Raymond. But this is just the difference. Yeah, a crunch is you're basically a crunch. You probably know, but I'm just saying that just don't. I don't like sit-ups. I don't think sit-ups are that good. I think they work too much other musculature that doesn't need to be worked. They work your hip flexors, um, which most people already have tight hip flexors and weak glutes. I don't think that it's good. Um, so crunches are way better for you. But yes, but to kind of sum up your question is a crunch is effective to get a six pack. It's not a waste of time. Anything that causes that forces you to flex your spine is going to be good. And then Gabe, yeah, I would if I had to pick one, I would say low weight body weight reps for sure. Higher reps, higher reps, but make it challenging still. Don't go too low. If you go too low with reps, it's just I don't know. You're just simply not doing enough work, and by work I mean force times displacement. Work from like a scientific perspective. Plank's good, but planks aren't really going to get you a six pack. Plank is more for core stabilization and I would say overall moving in a healthy manner. A core is going to teach you how to stabilize and get tight. It's going to challenge isometrically your transverse abdominis, which I don't. Yeah, your transverse abdominis, which is a muscle underlying your. It's deeper in relation to your six pack. If you've ever seen like a weight belt, you know how like powerlifters wear a weight belt around their waist. Your transverse abdominis functions in the same way. It's like your own internal weight belt, and a plank will cause you to brace and use the transverse abdominis. So it kind of helps you learn to use that. But obviously, a plank is going to work your glutes too. It's going to help you to isometrically target your glutes if you're doing a plank right. Some people won't squeeze their glutes. When you're doing a plank, your quad should be tight. Everything should be tight. Your quad should be tight. Your glute should be tight. Your core, which is your transverse abdominis, is going to be tight. But there's depending on the type of plank you're doing, a regular plank, you're not going to have any spinal flexion. Think about it. You're not flexing your spine during a regular plank. So you're not really going to be developing a six pack, but you're going to be teaching yourself how to have a healthy, strong, stable core. So I think that planks are good. But again, it's different for getting a six pack. You should do both though. Um, Rhino said I was a fan of JP Fitness until I learned that he was a Wahhabi Muslim. Shake my head. Hey, you guys, I was a fan of Rhino until I heard that he's the person who started the coronavirus. Yeah, I hate to break it to the public, but I mean, he started the coronavirus. So I mean, if anything bad happens with that, it's on his head. I mean, I just, I can't condone that type of madness. I'm sorry, Rhino. I know you told me not to tell anybody, but I'm doing this for the good of mankind. So I hope you don't hold that against me. I mean, I hope you don't hold that against me, man. Just don't be mad at me. Rhino, where do you live at, man? Fuck no. Hell no. I will never skydive. Nope. Never. Hey, Ryan, or can you drop a thumbs up, please? I'd appreciate it, big dog. But yeah, I will never skydive. I honestly think that I'd have a panic attack during the skydive and I wouldn't be able to pull the parachute. Uh-uh. You already did it for me, Reinor. Thanks, OG, triple OG. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, Gabe, would you skydive? I ain't gonna say that, Jay. I'm not even trying to fall for it. I don't even know what joke that is. Well, you must be the prophet because you guessed I wouldn't denounce that, so you can see the future. Yeah, Gabe, I couldn't do it. Raymond said, "What kind of music are you into?" I'm into either heavy metal, like not so much like thrash metal. I love Slayer though. Slayer is good. I'm not, but other than Slayer, I'm not really into thrash metal. I'm into like heavy metal, like deathcore, grindcore stuff, like Carnifex, um, Chelsea Grin, Despised Icon, OTEP's first two albums. I'm not too big into their newer stuff. Their first two albums, OTEP. Who else? Slipknot. I like Slipknot. Their older stuff. Again, their newer stuff, not so much. Um, those types of bands. Or I'm into like rap, like just straight rap, like um, and not like the mumble rap shit. But I don't like when people say there's no good rap these days. I mean, they can say that all they want. There is good rap. You just gotta look for it. There is a lot more shit though. I'll give them that. There's a lot more shit. So like rap, like Mac Miller is my favorite artist of all time. Rest in peace. Uh, I also like JID from J Cole's Dreamville label. So JID. Earth Gang is pretty sick. Griselda, I've been getting into Griselda lately. Oh, they're so hard. Um, who else? Royce da 5'9". He's so good, so good. I like Eminem, but I like his older stuff mostly. I don't listen to any of his newer stuff. I still think he can body people when he wants to, like he did to MGK. But I'm not really into his newer stuff. Snow the Product, she's an amazing rapper. Yeah, so it's either heavy metal or rap. What about you, Raymond? Jay, what do you mean by that? Is that like a? I'm not even gonna say it though, but yeah, no, that's probably some type of trick. Ryan, are you gonna be? You're gonna be like you're gonna be like a hidden guy on this channel forever, aren't you? I want to figure out who you are. What's your name? Yeah, see, I knew it. I knew it. I don't even, Jay. What you need to do is you need to make another YouTube account and you need to ask me one of these questions. You're not doing it right. What you got to do is you need to make another YouTube. I don't even know why I'm telling you this because I'm probably gonna get fucked over. You need to make another YouTube account and you need to ease into it. Talk to me. Come on my live streams, talk to me a little bit. Act like you're a normal person. Ask me some fitness questions, and then try to sneak in one of those tricks when I like least expect it. But it has to be realistic. If you're asking me random ass questions, it looks like I could see it a mile away. But you gotta commit. If you're gonna try to get me, you gotta commit, man. I believe in you. Rip, Joe Rogan, we miss you. I know. Why do I see that shit and all their fucking? That's why I thought the Kobe death today. That's why I thought it was a joke at first, because I'm telling you, I seen that Joe Rogan stuff, and I was just like, Don't tell me Joe Rogan died. And then I looked and it was he was fine. And then when I seen the Kobe stuff, I was like, oh no, this is like the Joe Rogan thing. It's not the truth. And then I looked and it was real. Rip Juice WRLD and XXX. I know. What's up with all these people dying? You had Mac Miller die a year ago. You had Nipsey, XXX, Juice WRLD, now Kobe. Hey, Rhinor, how long did it take you to put on your tinfoil hat today? Oh, uh, yeah, I mean, yeah, we all did. It sucks. Yeah, it's sad. Gabe said 2020 is the year to be alive. I mean, so far it's not looking like it. Pokemon was a slave master and Pikachu was a slave. Yeah, I've heard people say that before. Well, it kind of is in a weird, sick, and twisted way. Raymond said I like rock songs too, but not heavy metal stuff. Kind of like Def Leppard at Guns N' Roses. You know what's weird is I'm just not into stuff like that. I don't know why. Like I can't, as a human, I can't really give a specific reason. I'm not into music in the sense of like uh, 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 music science or any of like the technical terms for music. But when I hear the rock bands and stuff, and the bands that like that, like Def Leppard and Guns N' Roses, I mean, it sounds good for its genre. Like I can see why people like those bands when I listen to them. But for some reason, it just, I don't know why. The fact that it's not heavy, it just feels too soft for me. You know, I don't know what it is. When it hits my ear, I can't explain it. Like, when it hits my ear, I don't like it. I don't know. I like heavy shit. Like, I want something that's, and not just heavy, it has to be melodic too. It can't just be like random fucking just nonsense. Like, it has to have like, but like, I mean, when I hear a good, like, uh, the good heavy song or good heavy album. I mean, it's just like Despised Icon, their second album. I forgot what it's called. Why do I not remember it? Uh, so the Ills of Modern Man, the Ills of Modern Man. That album is so fucking good, man. So that album is so good. I love that album. Jay says, and then PewDiePie does when he's on break. Dies. Oh yeah, yeah. Apparently, people have been freaking out about him being on break. Oh, then Jay, have you been keeping up with that? I just seen it the other day. That Onision, that guy, the Onision YouTuber, how he's like freaking out and shit, and how he's had all those weird videos of him crying, and I don't know the shit where he's like fucking grooming a young girl. I don't fucking know, some weird shit. And he said, "Do I watch Lost in Space?" No, what is that? Gabe said squat or leg press. Always squat, man. In my opinion. Now you can't pick. I know that's just me answering from a human aspect. I'm not getting too technical. Technically, you can't really pick. Some people can't squat, and the leg press is better for them. But for me, I like powerlifting, so I'm always gonna pick squat. It's not even a question. Reiner said, pour some liquor out for Epstein. Why? For the fact that he didn't kill himself? Um, they said a Netflix series. No, what is that? Let me see. Mm, No, I haven't seen it. I'm actually looking it up right now. Seems pretty cool. I like space shit like that. I mean, Halo is my favorite game, and if you've read the books, man, the Halo books are amazing. So he said, I do like heavy metal stuff, like Slipknot during my teen days. Now all those screaming are hurting my ears. I don't know, like I like the screaming. Fucking Rhinor. The Raymond said, I do like heavy metal stuff, like Slipknot during my teen days. Now all those screaming are hurting my ears. No, like the screaming. I mean, it makes me. I feel like I want to fucking break something, but in a good way when I hear like a good heavy song, a good one. And then keyword is good. Like I don't know. There's a lot of bad and heavy stuff sometimes. Fucking Rhinor. It was the U.S. government who did 9/11. Mortal Kombat versus Halo and who I like, or Mortal Kombat versus Halo and who would win a fight? Who would win a fight? It would be Mortal Kombat. I mean, that's not even. I don't even think that's close. Some of those fools can't even die, and they're like gods and shit. Yeah, it wouldn't even be. And that's me. I like Halo more, so I'm being super unbiased. That's not even a fair fight, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't like Raiden. I don't. I think technically he can't even die. And I mean, I don't care how fast you are. Raiden's lightning, so I mean, lightning moves at what? I don't know. There's like a sixth of the speed of light or some shit like that. What up, Alex? How you doing, man? What did I think about the Connor fight? I mean, I don't want to say I say seen it coming, but everyone knew before the fight happened that Connor's a strong starter. Cerrone tends to fold under pressure, like he did against Dos Anjos, like he did against like he, I don't know, he just tends to crumple when he gets put on the spot. And I mean, it's hard to say that he does that when he gets crumpled on the spot when he did have a broken nose and a broken orbital bone. But I don't know if it's him just fighting too much or if it's him just he can't take the pressure. But it looks like he froze up. I mean, like always, it looks like he freezes up. So I mean, it was for how long, as long as it lasted. I mean, I guess it was. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it was very underwhelming. As a entertainment. For Connor, obviously, that's not underwhelming. That's really good on him. Great performance, especially after a long layoff. A head kick knockout. I did not see that coming. Everyone's, you know, fucking getting their dick wet over the shoulder strikes. I mean, I don't think those are gonna work against anybody else that good. Especially not Masvidal. But I mean, I don't think it was fake at all, but I mean, he just tends to freeze up. I mean, he gets like deer in the headlights, like he doesn't know what the fuck to do. I mean, fight. I mean, there are some fighters who when they get hit and pushed up against the cage, they bite down and they just fucking start throwing bombs. But I mean, that's not him. I mean, he just fucking crumpled up. I mean, yeah, I know he had a broken nose and a broken orbital bone, but I mean, look at Colby Covington. I mean, he was fighting 2 rounds with a broken jaw. I mean, there are fighters who fight with. I mean, Robert Whitaker fought with a broken hand against Yoel Romero. I mean, it sucks to say this, but you're in MMA. I mean, you're gonna break shit. So I mean, he tends to like fucking close up and cover up. And I mean, for a referee, I mean that's all you need is to for it to be stopped. Um, Alex says now let's hope Tony beats Khabib, but I hope Connor doesn't stay at 170. Usman is just too big. I believe he can beat Jorge though. I don't know about that. I don't think Conor can beat Jorge. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't think he could beat Jorge. Conor's very skilled, but I mean, I think Jorge's just too. He's a better grappler, and I believe boxing wise, I believe that I don't know. I think the better kickboxer is Jorge, but I think the just purely hands. That's hard to say. I maybe give it to Conor, but barely. You pick Conor over Jorge? I don't. I think Conor loses to both Jorge and Usman, in my opinion. I think Usman would just overpower him so hard in grappling, and I think Jorge has too many tools, way too many tools. Yeah, Conor did just land the head kick knockout, but I mean, other than that, he's not, too known for kicks. Yes, he is working on his grappling, but is it better than Jorge's or Usman's? I don't think so. Again, the one thing that I think he has over both of them is just his hands. Raymond said, "Do I watch other YouTube fitness channels?" Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube fitness channels. Um, I watch Omar Isuf's channel. If you know Omar, great channel. I watch Athlete X, great channel. I don't agree with Athlete X on everything, but again, an amazing channel. Um, I watch Jeff Nippert's channel, very good. Very good channel. I've been listening to the Iron Culture podcast with Eric Helms and Omar. Um, yeah, and then I watch like Larry Wheels. I watch his stuff, really good. I watch Thor's channel, Thor Bjornsson. I mean, really entertaining. Yeah, I could. Ryan said he barely touched him with that head kick. Bottom of your foot doesn't have much power. Need to hit with shin. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of factors that play into that. I mean, it's there's a lot of factors that play into that. Um, you don't know. I mean, Cowboy's been through so many fights. I mean, he probably doesn't have the most granite chin in the UFC. He's probably a little bit more fragile than your average fighter. I mean, I just don't think it was a hoax. I don't think it was a setup. I don't think it was a hoax. I don't. I mean, I'd be pretty fucking surprised if any evidence came out that he took a dive. I don't. I don't think it would really do it. I mean, yeah, it does stuff for the UFC if they did that, but I don't think Conor would be one to do that. Yeah, you're right. There's always a maybe. You're right. I mean, look, I'll say this: if there was any fight to be a set up like that, set up, if there was any fight, if I was forced to pick a fight, that would be at the top of my list for sure. I would definitely because it looks like it was a setup. Because Connor's return, they don't want the big star to lose in his return. Cowboy wants a lot of money. He's already lost a lot. I mean, Cowboy's probably okay with losing to some extent. So if I had to pick a fight that was to be set up, it would be that one. But do I what I if I had to bet money that it was a setup? No, I would not bet money that it was a setup. No, I would bet money it wasn't a setup. Yeah, it did look suspect. I'll say that for someone from the outside looking in, it looked uh suspect. Gabe said, "Would I rather be 7'6" or 4'6"? 7'6", easy. I'd rather be a fucking giant. 7'6", easy. They would both kind of suck to be honest, but I mean, 7'6". I mean, I could make millions of dollars playing basketball. I could probably. I mean, I could probably set records just doing shit. I mean, you know, Reiner said a lot of people were predicting setup too, so it's already in my mind. Yeah, they were, but I don't buy it. I don't. Again, I'm not big into conspiracies. Like I feel like there's a lot of issues with conspiracy theorists I don't. That train of thought. You can always find room for a conspiracy in anything. So I'm not one to just default to that. Raymond said, "Have I ever been to any actual UFC? How much is a ticket?" I have not been to a UFC fight. No, I've watched obviously dozens and dozens and dozens of pay-per-views, and I've been following it for years, but I have not been to a UFC fight. And the tickets all depend on the fight going on. Like if they do a Conor Khabib 2 rematch, I mean, there's no fucking way I'm getting a ticket. If I'm if I have a fuck ton of money on me and I'm waiting by the tickets to drop, I might be able to get one in the way fucking back for like $1,000 for a Conor Khabib fight, or at least a couple hundred, 3, 4, 500. But I mean, if it's like a regular fight, yeah, I could get a ticket for maybe like $50 if it's in the back, maybe $100. I'm assuming something like that. Not too much. It just depends on who's fighting. Like the Tony Khabib fight, that's probably gonna be expensive tickets, especially if it actually comes to fruition. Which I don't trust that shit. I'm not. I wouldn't fucking bet on that fight as far as I could throw fucking Brock Lesnar. I'm not gonna have any hype for that fight until I see both those assholes inside the octagon. I mean, if Tony Ferguson can trip over a fucking cord and tear ligaments in his knee, anything can fucking happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Khabib broke every limb in his body from fucking tripping over a gust of wind and shit. So I don't trust that. So yeah, Raymond, it just depends on the. Gabe said, "Do your veins pop out when lifting?" No, I'm not very vascular. I never have been. Some people are crazy vascular. Does it mean anything health wise? I wouldn't know, to be honest. I don't think so. No, it depends. Some people are just more vascular than others, and also it depends how lean you are too. You could have some people who are lean and not that vascular. You could have some people who are lean and you see fucking every vein in them. I think it's just a genetic thing. Obviously, in my opinion, if someone's really vascular, it looks pretty. It looks good aesthetically. Now, if you're too vascular, I mean, it might look a little creepy. I've seen some people who are just fucking. Their forearms are just so vascular just from fucking grip work and shit. I'm not into wrestling. Yeah, I used to watch it when I was a kid, but the fake stuff, I mean, I'm not hating on it. I understand the concept. It's like a story, it's kind of like a book, like a live book. But I have no issues against it. You know, they do have to do a lot of touring with the schedule and stuff, and it's probably hard to be a W. And they still have to work out in a way they are athletes. But I just can't do the fake thing. It just doesn't. So I'm just into MMA and boxing to some extent. Boxing. Yeah, I can't like. Yeah, it's hard for me to watch it and just I get the appeal. Trust me, I get the appeal. I definitely can see why people like it. It's just not my thing. Um, definitely not my thing. And plus, and even if I did like it, to be honest, I have so much shit that like I like to do that it almost feels like my hobbies are fighting for a spot in my life. Is what it feels like. I have so many hobbies, man. It's like there are games that I want to play that I can't even get to because I'm too busy doing something. Um, yeah, like Guild Wars is a game that I like that I want to play, but I mean, am I gonna play Guild Wars or am I gonna play the new Call of Duty? I'd rather play the new Call of Duty. Am I gonna play Guild Wars or am I gonna play Mortal Kombat 11? You know, and it's like when I'm not playing video games, I want to read. When I'm not reading, I'm training. When I'm not training, I'm working out. When I'm not working out, I'm recording a video. So even if I did like wrestling, I don't know where that would fall in my spot of of things that I would do. Is it something that why are you into it a lot? Oh yeah, that was the best era. That's the era that I grew up in, like right around that area, but kind of a little bit later. But pretty much they still had The Rock, they still had Stone Cold. This was when the Undertaker was a lot younger. This is what, like, with Rest in Peace, kind of, because I mean he did some fucked up shit, but Chris Benoit. So I don't really know what to say about that. Chris Jericho, Triple H, um, who else? Uh, Ric Flair. I mean, all the OGs. So yeah, but that's why I said not. I know what he did, so that's why I said I'm not sure what I should say about that, because he did. So not rest in peace, because he's an evil bastard, but at the same time, like, I say that because, like, obviously what he did was, you get what I'm saying. He did a horrific thing, but what I'm trying to say is, like, he was obviously probably going through mental health shit. What he did was horrible, but I hope that I'm not really religious, but I mean, whatever it is, it is what it is. If I got settled on that side, whatever. You stop it, Rhino. You stop it. You're being so mean. You get what I'm saying. You don't need to get your panties in a bunch, bro. But yeah, whatever. That's I don't know what to say about that, but did you just say rip JP Fitness? Don't rip JP Fitness, bro. Stop it, dude. Now you need to hold a press conference. But yeah, that was the golden era of WWE. It's just not the same anymore. I don't even know who's wrestling. Or last time I checked, the Undertaker was still here, but uh he was like old as shit, wasn't he? I was listening to a Kane interview the other day about Kane. That was weird to hear him. Yeah, see, what's funny is I started watching it when it was WWF, and it transitioned to WWE when I was watching it. So, like, I was right before WWE, right when it turned to WWE. So I was kind of in. I don't know. I guess I would call it the golden age of wrestling. That's what you're right, Gabe. That's exactly how I feel. It's just sad to see. I mean, I don't. Isn't I'm pretty sure the guy's old as shit, right? Like, let me look that up. I don't even know who how old that fool is. Yeah, see, 19. He's 54. Oh, so he's not that old. Not. I never mind. For some reason, I thought he was older than that. Damn, that's a lot of. See, oh, here it is. The Attitude Era is pretty much what, like. Yes, yeah, I remember Triple H. I remember Kurt Angle, Kane, The Undertaker, McFoley, The Rock, Stone Cold. Yeah, this is all the people that I grew up watching. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I just with all the shit that they do. I mean, because despite some of the blood and stuff being fake, you can't fake all of that. It's impossible to fake all of that. They talk about getting injuries and shit, and like some of them have got really injured during the performances and had to, like, how do I say, they had to improvise their skit. You started Duolingo, you got 1,400 experience first day. Be careful with that. Doing too much, Gabe. I would try to be more consistent. It's better to get like 1 to 200 experience a day, 100 experience a day, and do that every single day. Now, if you can, keep it up, keep it up. But you got to remember, consistency is key. Rhino says, "Rip Undertaker, we miss you." Damn, Rhino, you just want everyone to die, don't you? Undertaker, Joe Rogan, JP Fitness, you want us all to die. Yeah, see, that's the fight was act, but the injuries are real. Yeah, they be doing crazy shit like jumping off shit. I mean, they do certain techniques to mitigate the damage, like when they're punching each other, obviously. But I mean, you can only fake getting hit with the chair so much, you know, and then like, I mean, not fake because you're really getting hit with the chair, but I mean like they like don't hit them as hard. They try to move as the chair's hitting them, so you know they use tactics to mitigate the damage, but again, you could only mitigate getting hit with the chair so much. I mean, you can only mitigate certain things. I mean, jumping off ropes and hitting people, you can only mitigate so much. I mean, I don't know. I respect it in that sense. I couldn't do WWE. I feel like getting hit all the time would make me all depressed and shit. I wouldn't want my body to get beat up like that. Gabe said we have a challenge in class, and the meanest person called. Oh, and the meanest person called Menem out directly. Me out mean out directly. I kind of don't know what you're saying there. I had to grind and show them who's boss. Oh, you mean in the Spanish? Oh yeah, if it's a bet's a bet. I like doing friendly bets. Yeah, I like it when people say I can't do something or they make a bet with me. It's fun. It's healthy competition. Healthy competition is good. Really good. Yeah, it helps push you some stuff done. Yeah, I'm like I don't know how far I am in Duolingo. I'm on like the fourth section, the fourth or the fifth section, I think. So yeah, I actually got to do some today. Yeah, Spanish is hard though, man. It's going a lot slower than I thought. Oh, you're still on second? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. By that I mean, here, let me just show. I'm on. I'm on like. So I'm like on here. So yeah, it's just I have all those. Yeah, I'm like that's pretty much where I stopped. For me, like back in school, um, I was kind of a good kid. I was pretty much good until I started to get to high school. It's not that I was bad. It was I did shit I wasn't supposed to do. I just never really got caught. Like I never got caught. I I was smart for. Actually, it's funny that you asked that because I have my transcripts right here. I actually went to get them the other day because I got them like 3 days ago. I could actually. I started. It's funny as I got older, I started to get worse and shit. So my first semester, I had a 3.8 GPA. My second semester, I had a 3.48, and it just kept going down. Oh no, yeah, it did. Then a 2.85 my third semester. Then I had a 3.25 my next one. Then 2.8. Then 2.2. Damn. Then a 2.6, and then I ended with. I don't have one for the last one. Oh, 2.5. So I did all right. For some reason, I remember doing better. But the last half of school, to be honest, I started doing shit I wasn't supposed to do. Like, I don't want to get too much into it, but I started doing like certain drugs and smoking and all types of shit, drinking and yeah. I first started drinking when I was 15, so yeah, that'll say a lot right there. So yeah, so decent grades for the shit I was doing. Yeah, but I cleaned myself up in college. I have 2 years of college done. I have my associates in exercise science. I had a 3.95 GPA, so my average GPA was 3.15 for my entire high school. So that's not bad. 3.15. Definitely not bad. So yep. What about you, man? How was your time in school? Was it good? Yeah, no, they have a lot of issues. Obviously, I mean, um, yeah, I almost feel like I learned more outside of school in exercise than I have inside of school. Exercise science. Yep, exercise science. I'm actually gonna go back. I just applied again because I have the GI Bill over here for being having been in the military. Um, I I had a weird run in the military, so I only have 70% of the GI Bill right now. But uh, I'm applying for some stuff. So hopefully, basically, I want all my school taken care of from being in the military. So I'm actually gonna go back. In the long term, I want to get my PhD in it. So pretty cool. Yep. So yeah, high school. Yep, I did way better in college, which is the part that matters. So definitely the part that matters. What about you, Raymond? You did good in school. You go to college? Yeah. See, that's what it kind of it feels like sometimes, Gabe. But it's like past school, you need to be good at school. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like crazy smart. You know, like me, I did not good in the last half of my high school, even though I feel like I am a smart person. So I started making not the best decisions. I cleaned up eventually, but yeah, school's more about that. He said I was bad at math and science during my school days, yet I was taking engineering during my college and university days. Fuck. Talk about smashing those two together. Engineering is extremely hard. I'm actually good at math. I'm not always the most fond of. I don't really like doing it too much. I like reading about like math theory. You know, like I don't even know if that's the right word. I mean uh like math philosophy. I think that's cool. I think numbers are interesting, but I think that but math in general, doing it, I never had too much fun doing it. Science is fun. I like science. Science is actually really fun. It also just depends on like what kind of science I'm doing. Like, and if I'm doing anatomy and physiology, that's probably like one of the most interesting to me by far. If I'm doing something else, then like chemistry is it's chemistry is interesting reading about it, but doing the chemistry class is not so it's not so how do I say, the most fun thing in the world. I mean, again, certain parts of it, like reading about it and learning it, is cool, but just, I mean, I don't know. There are certain parts just not that good. Yeah, but I'm gonna go back to school here soon, and hopefully that'll plays out for me. Falling during school days means nothing. Our life starts after high school. Yep, it does. Well, you guys, I'm going to go. I gotta take care of some stuff. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, Raymond, for your questions. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good weekend or rest of the weekend. Thank you, Gabe, for stopping by. Like always, I appreciate it. Rhino for being your normal weird self. Uh, Thank you, Jay and CB, for trying to always catch me slipping. And then thank you, Cali Girl, for stopping by too. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day, and yep. If you guys have any questions, comments, always you can just comment on my video. Again, if you want to reach me directly through my Instagram at jpfitnesspro, through my website jpfitnesspro.com. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, comment. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Have a good day, you guys.